So can you see my screen? Okay. All right. Okay. So this is the Google form um on the Google on your Google. So you just come to when you open a new tab, you see this let me call it triple icons like dot icon. So you click on it, then you go to forms. You see the form section, you click on it, so it takes you directly to the form section. So basically this is one of the simplest way of actually conducting research. So you can send it to your friends, your family members, basically to users, like I said in yesterday's class. So I'll be talking more from about what I said yesterday. So I'll be making a reference to yesterday's class. So that will actually help us in the practical section. So once you already know your user, you already know who your users are. So you just have to create a Google form, a questionnaire, then send it over to them. So when you send it over to them, once you have your response, because you're going to be having your response on that same Google form, you're going to have receiving responses from people you sent the Google form to. So once you get the response, you'll be able to do you'll be able to know, okay, basically you can send your your questionnaire to like 50 people, and you can only interview just two or three. It depends on the response you get. The response you get will determine how many people you're going to interview, because some people might not actually give you exactly what you want. Like I said in yesterday's class, you have to have an end goal that you're trying to achieve in your research. So once you have that at the back of your mind, that will actually guide you in your questionnaire. So once you see the response from your user, you actually know, okay, this is person that is right for me to interview. Do you get? So let's assume, okay, um Bamishi, okay, she's a business lady, and she actually uses a mobile application, and I'm doing a research of people actually finding it difficult to use the mobile application I'm doing research on. That is the right person I can interview, that I can go on a Zoom call with, or Google Meet, or I can meet live with, like actually talk one on one with. So that I do a Google Meet call, or a Zoom call. But just make sure that it's very, very interactive and you actually get the right answers from that particular user. So those are the steps. So there's some templates here for you. There's some templates. You have the contact information. So you guys end of the templates and just rearrange it to your own taste actually. So I'll just click on any of them, and we'll just go straight to it. They'll make some edits to it as well. Okay, so this is the this is template for contact information. So you can start from the blank from from the blank section, but to make things easier for you, you can just take and click on any of the templates and edit it to your own taste actually. So here is the responses section. This is settings section, and this is questions. So this is where you actually put in your questions. So I'll be bit fast because of time, and so because I believe most of us have other things to do, and so you guys can actually have enough time to actually work on your tasks as well. So and we have a lot of things to cover today, so I'll be a bit fast. So so this is the top section. This is like I put like a header. Okay, let's assume you send this form to a particular person. One of the things that the user will see first is the header. Okay, let's assume I'm conducting a research for let me just start with this first. Actually created a fig jam file where I wrote down some problems. Okay, yeah. So all right, so I wrote down a problem here. So we'll go through this problem together and create the questionnaire together, and the empathy map, pinpoint. I've already done the arrangements for us already, so we'll just come up with our own ideas. So this is a problem here. So we will find it difficult. Okay, we will find this. Okay, it's an error here. bad. Finding difficult. Okay, people find this difficult. Okay, you find it difficult to go to the bank to deposit their funds, make payments and other transactions. Conduct a research on how this can be solved. So basically, we're actually working on a, let's say, a fintech application. A fintech application is a financial application. Most of us have actually heard about fintechs. We might not actually know what that is. It's actually a short code for I say short code. It's actually a fintech application. So basically, it's a fintech application, financial application. So this is problem we're trying to solve. So we go into the questionnaire. They would have any user we're going to interview. So we're going to be using our questionnaire to actually do that. So we're going to be creating questions based on this. People find it difficult to go to the bank app to the bank to deposit their funds, make payments and other transactions. Conduct a research on how this can be solved. And okay, so all right, so we can just see here we can say straightforward. See user research. Oh, what's going on? User research. User research on a just put bank issues. You can just name it anyone, but just make it explanatory to people that are actually going to view. Okay, let's just put user research. Just put bank issues. Let's just put it like let's make it simple. So just write let's just write James. Okay, from I'm not gonna put anything here, so that's I don't have anything to put in my mind right now. So just make sure that yours is actually very professional enough because people are going to be giving the form, so they're actually going to read it. Some of them are going to read it, and if it's not professional enough, some will naturally fill it. So it has to be very professional. Form to find out the pains business um people pains of people trying to deposit their funds in the bank. So so this is just direct and all of that. So if we move forward, so this next section. So once you click on this tab, it shows you different section, add questions, import questions, add title, add image, add video. So so as not to waste much time, we're not actually going through all the features, but you can actually check on YouTube. As a designer, make YouTube your friend. YouTube should actually be your best friend, should actually be your very close friend because you can't actually remember everything. So once you have issues or you've forgotten a particular point or something like that, you can go to YouTube. Make YouTube your friend. YouTube should be your let me see your first mentor. Should be like your second mentor. So you just go to YouTube, check ask anything, just ask anything on YouTube, actually give you some brief of what you want to know. So yeah, this is name. Most times um you can actually require the name from your users. So it's not compulsory though. It's not compulsory, but it's necessary to actually know the name of your user. So you have bold, interlinks, underline, link. That if you want to insert a link or something, such a short answer. Which kind of answer do they want? Is it do you want the user to give you a long answer that's like a paragraph? Short answer should be brief, just one line. So when you're actually doing this part, just make it a short answer. A short answer is more preferable, not a paragraph. So people's name are not actually long, so you choose short answer. Okay, now their emails. So now you need their emails actually. You actually need their emails. Let's assume um the user is the right user that you need to interview to the next level. So there are different levels of interviews. There are different levels. There's basic level and there's the advanced level. The advanced level is getting on the call with your user. Like I said, going on a Zoom call with your user. That's very, very, very advanced, because most times some users will actually allow you to actually get on the call with them because of their busy schedules and everything, depending on the kind of user you're trying to get on the call with. Most of them are depending on the kind of application you're even trying to do research on, because most users they don't have time and things like that. So using a questionnaire will actually make it more faster. So you just send it to them to fill the form, and don't make your questionnaire too difficult to fill. Don't make this what we call there's something that we call very, very important. Let me put it that. Let me just make it simplified. Very, very crucial on this Google form. You see this asterisk here, this red so it shows very, very important. So now when you see required, now if I remove this required here, you see that the asterisk just that red signal goes off. So it is not compulsory for the user to fill that aspect. So once this particular question is very, very important, you can click on this button here, required. So if the user tries to jump this particular question, I want to submit, the user will not be allowed to submit because he or she have not actually filled that particular question. So it's very, very important. But don't make all your questions required. You will frustrate your user. As a designer, you're not meant to frustrate your user. You're trying to make life easy for your users. So don't make everything very, very difficult for them. So moving forward, you don't need the address. No, you don't need the address. Just go straight to the question. Go straight to the question. You can ask, okay, what bank do you use? Do you use? Straightforward. Just go straight to the point. Straight to the point. So you can make it if you know some banks in your particular area. Let's say if you're in US, you know the banks that are in US. If you're in Nigeria, you know the banks that are in Nigeria. So it someone saying anything? They didn't want to say anything. Okay. Are we all following, please? I need a response, please. Hope we are following. Okay. All right. Okay, no problem. So you can make it let's assume you are doing a research. Let's assume the application is you're trying to do an application that is for the world, let's say both Africa and from different continents. So let's assume there are different bank applications, so just in different places. So you can actually make it, let's say they have different branches or something. So you can actually make it a multi-choice and also order. Let me so when we are filling this, you see what I'm talking about. Let's assume you'll be in Nigeria, we have the Bank of Africa, the Bank of Africa. So we have Rema Bank. For those who are in foreign countries, I don't know if you know Rema Bank. Okay, but these are the banks that is Nigeria that people commonly use. The next one is First Bank. First Bank. So now you can just click after making this multi-choice. Let's assume the user, because most common people use UBA, First Bank. Okay, let's I don't know GT Bank, GT Bank. So you can after just putting the common banks that people do use in Nigeria, you can just put add order. This order means that it assume the user does not use any of these banks at all. They can actually put in the name of their bank in order section. So it's gonna be like a few. They can actually type the name of the after creating this form, we'll check through it and see how it looks like after creating this Google form. So we can put this in required because without this question, you don't know how to solve the user's problem. So you don't need their phone numbers. No, you don't need their phone numbers. But it depends. Depends. So you can make it in you can put it in what's in required. Okay. Another question is okay. Let's ask. So I'll just put two questions. Two questions should just be okay because of this class because we have a lot of things to do. What's what are common problems you face? commercial face by trying to do a transaction. Transaction. Sorry. Very first day. So it's kind of wrong. So to correct most times so this wrong. Okay, sorry. Okay. So okay, we can make this one let's say a paragraph because most times people actually pour out their heart and say, "Oh my God." Most times, try to make a deposit, get into the counter, a long queue or something. So the most users actually pour out their heart. They actually pour out their heart. So you make that a paragraph. So that's required. So you can create now. You want to create another question. So you just click on this plus here, add question. So you can track this downwards. You can see this move to this four directional points shows a move to. So you can also drag it down. Then you can ask, would you love to have a course section? Let me make it. Let's just make it have a brief course section. Brief course, yeah. So you cannot make this yes, no. So you cannot put order anyways. They make it required. Then you can actually put at your last here. Um, um, phone number. That should be it. So most times people don't actually like calls, so it's preferable to use emails. Preferable to use emails. Just message them through their emails. Try and make it more professional. If they're actually business people, go through their emails. But if they're like students or because students most times students really go through their mails, or if they're actually business people. So you don't have to make this one required because most of them will actually want to share their personal details to you because they don't really know you. So you don't have to make that required. So you don't need this. So just click on the delete button here, and that should be it. So we can actually check through it and say preview. So okay, all right. So this is the form we have created so far. This is a simple form, straightforward and short. You don't have to ask them heavily questions. They'll be so frustrated and they won't fill your form at all. I've seen several forms from people trying to conduct research and the questions are too long and they made almost every question compulsory. That will be frustrating your user. So please, when you are doing your research, when you are trying to make people fill your form, sorry, don't make everything compulsory. Just the vitals make it required to actually give you a direct question. So once the user see your link, you can copy the link. I'll show you how to copy the link anyways. Then put in their name, their email, ask them brief questions, then they submit. So once that is actually done, you get them here in your response. So now accepting responses, you can unclick this. Let's say most times when we ask you guys to submit your assignment and you don't submit it on time, once you unclick this button, shut down this button, we won't accept responses anymore. To show Google will notify you that okay, we're not actually accepting response anymore. So you can actually do this. If your responses have already gotten to your target, let's assume your target audience is 100 and you have gotten to 100 already, then you can actually put this off. Most times you can't actually you have to work with a team. When that's mean you're working with a team, it will be very, very easy for you to conduct your research. But if you're working alone, you have to go through a lot of processes. That's why most people don't really like doing research because it's stressful and it requires a lot of time. It requires you to think beyond the box. So it's not something that you just go to Figma and just start designing, adding colors, creating um buttons and adding icons and images. It's beyond that. It is what determines the growth of a company. If your research is wrong, then it will affect the growth of the company, because it's based, it is what you research on, and what your information architecture contains is what your UI will complement. So if your research is wrong, it will affect the product, the digital product, and every company wants to make sales. So most times when you see some companies saying we need 3 years of experience, 4 years of experience, 6 years of experience, that's because they want people that have actually gone through the process. They have a lot of experience, that have worked with different companies and have something to show. So basically, you don't have to rush by conducting your research. You have to take due processes, think, and ask the right questions. Like I said, asking the right questions, you get the right answers. Asking the wrong questions, you get the wrong answers. And that will actually affect your production rate and also your response too as well. So that's by the way. Now, so if you click this, you'll be accepting responses. Okay, so that's all about that. Okay, for I hope by this short tutorial, you guys now know how to create your own questionnaires, right? Please, I need the responses, please. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. So we'll be going to Speak Jam now, since you guys already know how to do that already. And I believe that in your tasks, I'll be seeing straightforward questions. I won't be seeing long questions that actually frustrate us. Please. Okay. Now this is Speak Jam. So I believe um my colleague has actually taught you guys how to use Speak Jam, right? Do you guys get that? Like you guys. Okay, only Figma. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right, no problem then. Okay. Okay. But you guys have already created your account on Figma already. You have on Figma, right? You guys already have an account on Figma. Okay. So for the submission, we'll tell you what you're going to be submitting. You'll be submitting the Figjam file, and also, okay, let me put it like this. Okay, let me do it like this. So it will not stress each and every one of you. So your assignment, you're submitting your Figjam file, submitting a Figjam file. So your questions, you would put it in a box. You put it in a box, something like this. I'll quick that to do the box. So you put out your questions. They are going to be asking your users, and also the solutions. You guys get me? So that's how it's gonna be like. Let me read the question again. So I'll tell you guys what you guys are gonna be submitting. So okay, okay. So I'll tell you guys what I guys are gonna be submitting by the end of this class. So that's by the way. So okay, yeah, moving to this problem now. It has okay, let me just make this thing interactive. So what are the problems, you guys? Let me just ask this question. Anybody can answer. So that actually help us in this class as well. So as we're answering the questions, I'll also be teaching you guys how to use FigJam as well. As I said, you guys should come to your laptop. So as I'm trying to interact with my system, you all will also be interactive with your system too as well. So what are the issues you guys face trying to deposit or make payments or transactions? Just say anything. Just say anything. I need to get responses. Please don't use the chat section, please. I'm not on the Google page, so please, you can actually help me to speak, please. Okay, I don't know why you guys are not talking. Let me see. Okay, no chat. Okay, can you guys hear me? Okay. Okay, I said that what are the let's assume what are the issues you face while conducting a transaction. Let's just put it that way. What are the issues? Just tell me the problems you face. Anybody, just tell me the problems you face while making payments on transactions in the bank. What are the issues you face? Just tell me anything. Okay, all right, no problem. All right, that's for that. Okay, let me. So now, um, here is the we're going to be creating a rectangle here. So you can add to create a rectangle on FigJam. You can click on this section here. So you can pick any of the shapes you want: ellipse, diamond, triangle. So as different shapes you want. So that's by the way. But as time goes on, you guys will actually get to know how to use FigJam. Like I said, YouTube should be your best friend. So we click on the rectangle tool. You can change the color. Here's the color section. You can click change the color to any color you want. You can change it to, if you have any question, you can still ask me the question. I'll respond. Or if you don't understand how I created this, you can still ask me and I'll respond to as well. Okay, so this is a little big. This is big. So now if I want to resize this in all cursors, I'll press shift to resize it in responsively. I'll resize it present, hold it down shift. So I'll zoom in. Okay, so I'm gonna say she said um um wait, let me zoom in. It's what she said. Waiting for the queue. Okay, waiting to get. Let me just make it professional. Waiting to get responded to. Time and being difficult for her. So okay, make this one a little bigger. So I'm going to increase the size of what she said so it can be visible for everybody. So I'm going to click on this font size. So once you click on the rectangle, you'll see small. This is the font size. So you can click on this drop down icon here, then click huge. That's too big, so you can change it to medium. That's small, change to large. So this is big enough. So you can duplicate this and just say what other problem do you guys face again? Just I'm listening. So we won't take much time. Okay, okay, okay. Anyone else apart from her? Please, I want you guys' response. Please, just say anything. Nothing is don't be shy, please. Just say anything. We're just here together. We're here to learn together. I'm also learning too as well. Please, I'm listening. Why guys do like talking? Yeah, yeah. Physical mobile applications, just transactions. So we can have a lot of them. So we can I just want to trigger the processes. So both online and physical. Just tell me as much as you can tell me. I'm listening. I repeated this twice. Okay. Anyone else? Please, I'll need your responses, please. So we can make this class very, very interactive. I should not. Okay. Yeah, sure, you can. You can. Sure. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. I'm just working on the says and just have a lot of things. Okay, giving feedbacks of success transactions. Okay, so let's just have one more. Just one more. Um, yeah, you're free to talk. You don't have to take. No, please. You're free, please. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Um. Man, I'm typing rubbish. I'm way too fast. Okay. 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 Joy, you can raise up. Please don't raise up your hand, please. Just talk. Don't raise up your hand. I'm on the Google page, so you don't raise up your just talk, please. That really help me out. Okay. Okay. Remind my errors. I'm just trying to. Okay, so okay. So, it's fine. I didn't get that, please. Can you come again, please? Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, sure. Okay. Okay. That's connection. All right. Okay. I think I've had more than enough connection. Which are there? Let's have some from different country. Which are there? Sure. I don't know if she's still there. Okay. Even if she can hear me, I just want to get her own response too as well, since she's not from Nigeria. Okay, so I'm gonna create. I'm sorry. So we can have. Oh God, what's going on? Okay, so I can change the color of this to. You can actually have different color variations for your your four cardinal points, your things say. So you can change, like I said, you can change your color to from here, from this drop down. You can change it to any color you want. So you can have different variations of colors. So right. So let's move forward. So what do you guys do? Okay, what are the things you do? Now I'm actually conducting interviews with the guys right now. I'm actually conducting interviews with the guys as I'm speaking right now. So that's how you do it too, but you make it more professional than I'm done. That I'm doing it right now. So make it more professional. So what do you guys do when you guys face this problem? What are the things you do? What do you Okay, people are complexing right now. Okay. Okay. Please don't raise up your hand, please. Don't raise up your hand. Okay, people are complexing. Okay. It's fine. Just like I said, you cannot say anything. Don't say anything, please. Just say anything. That's why you actually have a pause in this process. So you guys know how the process actually takes place, please. So you can don't say anything. Okay, any other person. So she said us. Okay, next. Okay, so if okay, sorry for cutting you short. The guy that just spoke, so I can't see your name, so because I'm on Big Jam, I'm very sorry about that. But can you just repeat what you said? You find the email option more professional, or what did you say? Okay, okay, sorry, because I have to just manage my spelling errors. Because okay, another person, what things you do when you face problems? Okay, okay, okay. Next, okay. All right. Questions. Okay, so you can see I'm actually recording this like penning these things down. I'm arranging my empathy map. So the arrangement should be very professional because once you're working with a team, this is actually very easy. Like I said, as you can see now, I'm getting you guys response and it's making it very easy for me. So once you're working with a team, most times this place will be piled up with a lot of ideas based on you guys research. Five researchers can actually do research depending on the company you guys are working for. If it's a startup company, you might do everything. You might be the researcher, you might be the UI designer, you can even be the graphic designer, even you even be the content creator too as well. So it depends on the company you're working for. So let's have just one more because of our time, because time is fast, but I don't want us to waste a lot of time here. So one more response, just one more. What do you do when you face problems like this? One more. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So we move to the think aspect. Okay. So I basically from you guys' response, I'm going to bring out um the think what you guys thought. Like, okay, let me zoom in so you guys can see my I'm typing. That's what I'm typing. Okay. Alright. So I'm just gonna have just 3 weeks of our time. Okay. Mm, okay. So I have based on your responses, I know what you guys thought about. So I just wrote down 3. You can have that's why in your conducting research, let me just say this. You have to be in the heart of your user. That might look kind of strange, but when you are conducting a research, you have to be in the heart of a user. That's why it's very, very important. When conducting research, I don't advise anybody to do a user interview via phone call. It will look you won't be able to get the real answers and also get the way they feel and also see their facial expressions. I'm not seeing you guys right now, though, but from you guys' response, I can actually get some things. But me seeing your face, let's say that's why it's preferable to use Zoom. But some users will naturally allow you to see their face. So you have to be very, very attentive while listening to their conversation. So seeing their face, it makes things easy for you because you'll be seeing their facial expressions. Because you as a researcher, you have to know how to communicate. You have to know how to read people's facial expressions. You have to most times users might be in their by their face, you will know if they are sad or if they're happy or in their if they're in between. So conducting research most times is more preferable to do it like physical, see your user's face to actually because their face actually communicates to you. It gives you answers to your questions too as well. Because some users will just be it's just normal, just a normal thing. So from that expression, you should know what exactly is going in the mind of your user at that particular moment. Because as a researcher, every move or every facial expression, anything that goes in that goes on that particular point is a is like let me just say it's a case to you. It doesn't mean you're an officer here. You're just like a police officer here. So it doesn't mean you're doing you're trying to catch a thief. You're trying to catch a thief that actually stole money from a particular bank. Now you're actually conducting a research to know who stole the money in the bank. Now, at that particular moment, let's say a researcher is just like a police officer because they're trying to find out who stole the money or why this app is not working. So stuff like that. So anything that that particular person you're trying to investigate is every step he makes, every facial expressions he makes. Because most times, most I've not gone to police before. I've not don't sit and be I've not gone to police before. I've not actually known how they do things, but from the movies I watch, You can actually watch more movies on investigations. That actually help you out as a researcher. You can watch more of investigation movies. That will actually help you out in knowing the way people respond to questions. That will actually help you out doing your research. I don't want to talk too much, so that cut off time, please. All right, so we're moving to the fail aspect. Okay, so I'll fill this myself based on your response, but you guys should just record, um, just notes. I'm putting this down. Hope you are still following, please. All right, let me listen. Mm, I'll just put just stay to our time. Though there are a lot of it, but there's no time. Let me just write one more. Okay. Yourself felt sad. Okay. So of our time, I don't want to start thinking and everything. So this is just like a practical class. So okay. So now we're done with our empathy map, and you can see how it looks, and you're able to arrange this and it. Your think, say, do. Most times, if you don't, if these four cardinal points are not actually filled up, your research, let me see your research is wrong, but your research is not well done, because based on one person's speech, you can actually get this place filled up. Yes, if you ask the right questions, and the kind of question you ask your user will determine the kind of response I'm going to get. Most times, if you ask the user one question, the user will give you like five answers depending on their frustration. That's the thing. So if you ask them the right question, you're going to get tons of answers. They'll even tell you a story. How they went to this part of this, they went to this place, this thing actually happened to them. They are so frustrated. Now in Nigeria, we're having issue with money, and everybody's going to okay. If you go and meet a particular a Nigerian man right now and actually tell him, okay, what frustration are you having right now? It's gonna give you a story, especially if he's a business person. He will tell you a deep story, like different stories actually. So asking the right questions is very, very important as a researcher. It's very, very important. And it takes sometimes research can take months, can take 2 months, take 1 month. So I'll be moving to the pain points now. The pain points. So like I said, I'll get my pain points from my empathy map. So it's like the pain of the user. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'll take this. Features take a lot of time to load. This is a pain point here. So these are the important points from the research you conducted. Not everything can actually be a pain point actually, but the main focus. Okay, delay in while conducting transactions. That's a pain point too as well. Please, if you have any question, please you can actually ask. Please, I'll love our questions. So that will actually show that we're actually following and we're actually understanding what we're doing here. Okay. Okay, delay. Okay, okay, okay. Let me just put in. Let me just put. Okay, giving feedbacks. Okay, let me just put this. Let me put this. I can have this twice. You know, let's just have this. Um. Let's have. just 5. So now these are the pain points in this research. Oh, it's almost okay. So time is already up now. I have to be very, very fast so we can actually achieve something because okay. So I'm gonna change this color. I'm gonna change this to different colors. So that will actually help me out, help you guys out in knowing the different pain points. So I'm gonna change this one to different colors. You can change to different colors as you wish because they're going to be creating okay, let me change this to okay, these are different colors now. Okay, now from this pain point, we're going to be doing brainstorming together. We're going to brainstorm. When I say brainstorm, we're going to think together to solve this problem. Can you all hear me? Please, let's respond so that we'll not sleep here. Please, 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 please. Let's do it together. Let's just do it together so we can all achieve our set goal together, please. Right. So this is a particular problem here. I think duplicate this. My God. So this is a problem. This is a problem. This is a problem. This is a problem. Oh my God. Mistake. So this is another problem. So I'm gonna delete these boxes. So how I created this box is just creating just the shortcut for creating boxes rectangle. That's R. That's the first letter. So you can make it white and so this is for creating a rectangle. So you have this. So the same rectangle I created here is the same thing as this. So that's by the way. So we can actually make this bigger because we're going to be coming up with ideas to actually solve this problem together. Please, I need your response. Please don't let me be the one um answer the questions. We're all here to benefit. Please, let's come up with ideas together. So no idea is stupid, please. No idea is stupid. As a designer, no idea is stupid. But like I said, it depends on what you are trying to achieve. If the idea is useful at that particular point, no idea is stupid actually. So when you're working in your particular company and you're working in a team and one junior designer, okay, let's say in the later future, you guys become senior designers and in the company you have an intern in the company and you guys are conducting research and the intern brings up an idea and you say this guy is saying rubbish. Please don't do that, please. Just idea might actually be very, very important to the progress of that company. So please don't do that. Okay, now how do we solve this problem? So please, like I said, no this is already 9:02. Oh my god. Let's be fast. Okay, features takes time, take a lot of time to load. So how do you solve this problem? As a designer, you have to think. So how do you solve this problem? Just say anything. Anything. Let's have just two. That we'll go we move to the next problem. I'm listening, guys. Nobody's saying it. Am I the only one here? Can you hear me, please? Just saying it. Okay, I'm listening. Okay, I didn't get to Michelle. Can you come again, please? I'm very, very sorry. Sorry, I'm having a call. I don't know who's calling me. Okay, who was speaking, please? Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, Michelle, can you speak stay before you're saying again? I'm very, very sorry for that. I didn't really get that. Can you come again? Very, very sorry. The voice was a bit Yeah, yeah, of course. Okay. Having a feature that's okay, I'm listening to you. Carry on. Go on. Is that all? My God. Okay. Money, okay. All right. So you should have one. Am I correct? Is what you said. Mitchell, can you hear me? Am I correct what you said? What I typed, was it correct? Okay. What I typed, was it correct with what you said? Like what I typed actually, was it correct with what you said? Okay. All right. Do you have any other thing you want to say concerning this particular problem? Okay. All right. Okay. Any other person? So you all should speak, please. That actually help you to think. So as a designer, you have to think. So anyone else? Okay. 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 So that's three. So that should be enough of our time. I don't want us to spend a lot of time. I've spent over an hour here. So okay. So we have delay while conducting transactions. So what are the solutions to this? Let's all think. Let's think. Okay. I'm listening. Okay. All right. So I think we said that before. Okay. Employ. Okay. That's sorry, employ. Okay. Employ more staffs. Okay. Let's have two more. Let us type rubbish there. Okay. Let's have one more. Then. Oh my God. Let's have one more. Just one more. Anyone? Anybody? One more solution to. Okay. The orientations. Okay. So we're moving on to the next problem. Okay. So now this problem is refreshes his bank application several times. So that's a particular problem. So now how do we solve this problem? Okay. This user has been refreshing his particular bank application several times to get a response. So what's how can we solve this problem for this user? So I need you guys' response. Just two responses. So move. Okay, let's say okay, okay, okay. All right. All right. Okay. All right. So, because of our time, I won't be able to go further. So, we'll be moving on to the next problem. Okay. Delay in bank transaction to the recipient. Okay. I think that's the same thing. Okay. They just have two here because it looks like the same. Two response. Let's have two. If you're not saying anything here, please say something because it actually help you out. Because if you don't say anything now, you will actually say something later in the future. So let's start from here. So don't be shy. Your um your response is not wrong at all. We're all here to learn. So you have the freedom to speak. So let's have it. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that. Thank you guys for that response. All right. Okay. So I said two. Okay, let's just have two. Is enough. So moving on to the second to the last problem here, giving feedbacks of unsuccessful transactions. So here the user have actually done a transaction, but the app actually gives a response of an error message that transaction is actually successful. So now how do we solve this problem? How do we solve this problem? So the responses please. Anybody? Okay. Okay. Anyone else? Please speak. We're here together. Anyone? Just say anything. You guys have something in your mind. Okay. All right. Okay. I just want to make that short because of time. Okay. One more. Then move on to the next stage. Oh, time has gone. Oh my God. Okay. One more. If you're not saying anything here, please just speak. Don't be scared. Don't be shy. We're here to learn. We're all here to learn. Nobody's a boss here. I'm still learning anyways. I'm not a boss. So let's have it. Anyone? Say anything. All right. Okay. Okay. So now we have been able to answer. You can see we have filled up the empathy map, pain point, brainstorming section. So we're moving up to now breaking our ideas into most important. So we have the low impact, the high impact, low effort, and high effort. So now you can't actually do all this. You can't actually achieve all this at the same time because actually leads to high efforts to the developers and also to the designers too as well, and also it will cost money to the company as well. So you come up with the ones that are very very important to the company and also yield results. So because of our time, I'll be actually taking this down to to each of these sections. Now do now. I'll be looking at solutions of each of them. Then I'll be taking into which one is very very important now. Okay, I have a feature that actually has to have to deposit money. Features take a lot of time to load. Okay, so now this is a quick feature because every bank app actually needs that. Every bank application actually needs that. The feature to actually deposit money. So having that at the back of your mind, that's a deal now. So we take that because that's very very important. So my research is naturally very 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 perfect because I'm actually rushing. So we have that. So I'm going to another one, remove unnecessary informations to improve the speed of the applications. Yes, this is very, very important too as well. So you copy this and take it to do now. So that's very, very important. So it takes high impact. So that's low effort, but has an high impact. That's very, very it's very, very easy to reduce unnecessary informations. That's very, very easy to do. Have enough staff to carry out a task. Now let's assume this is the startup company, and they can't actually employ enough staff at that particular time due to um their expenses. So we can actually make this to do next. So now we're talking about the impact it's going to have to the company. Can you hear me? Okay. So now talking about I've come up with different ideas. We've actually brainstormed together like a team. So now we're actually breaking down these ideas to know which is very very impactful to the company and also to the application at the same time to get responses and also yield profits to the company because every company has a an end goal of actually making profit and also get more users to use the application or website. So moving on to the next problem, to the solution to the next problem. Okay, delay while conducting transactions. Okay, set up more banking halls for easy transaction. Okay, so like I said, you should be do next. Like I said, it's very very impactful to the company, but phones like that's high impact and also has that's high effort and also high impact. So it's gonna go to um do next. That will be done next. That will be done later. They set up new branches. Employ more staffs. Employ more staffs. Yeah, that should be done next too as well. That should be done later on. Okay. Um, Upgrade their system to avoid hacking of their server. Now, this is very very important. So, it is something that has to be done, and it's going to take a lot of processes to actually upgrade their system to avoid hacking. That should be done now. It has high effort, but let me say it has in between low effort and high effort at the same time. Depends on what they're trying to do, but it's very very impactful to the company, because most times if your application is not actually well upgraded or well secured, you can have hackers actually hack into your server. So it's very very important that to be done now. So we copy this and we take it to do now, due to the importance of it. So now we're going to refresh this bank. The next okay, wait, orientations on how to approach customers. Now, we're talking about a banking application here. We're talking about a banking application now. This is a banking application. This can be done later on. Just can be done later on. So it's going to take a lot of it's going to take high effort. It's going to take, I said, sorry, it's going to take low effort. It's very very easy to retain people, but it's going to have low impact. Okay, yeah, that's true. High effort and I'm making a mistake here. I'm not supposed to make this kind of mistake. It has high effort and also low impact. Though we're going to be orientating people now to how to approach customers. You can't do that as a designer. You can't actually do that as a developer. You can actually orientate how to approach customers basically on the mobile application, depending on what you're trying to achieve on this research. So you can actually copy this and put it to don't do. This is don't do. Like I said, people find it difficult to make payments and other transactions. So basically, this is what we're trying to achieve, to make life easy for users to actually make transactions or payments. So you can't do that on a mobile application. Basically, I should have said that we're actually working on a mobile application rather than saying it was a live bank. Think my case study was wrong really too. Okay, but I believe we're all getting this process. That's my main goal of this particular class. All right. Now we're actually moving to the next problem, which is refreshes his bank application several times to get a response. Now notify user to update the application. That is very very important. You have to have notifications on your banking application. It's a do now. That's low effort but has an high impact. So you can just copy this and take it to the do now. So you put it right here. Then also, did I copy that? Okay, I did. Okay, update the server to the app for better response. So that will actually have an high impact and actually and also an high effort too as well. So it's going to take a lot of process. Besides, depending on this on the state of the company at that particular time. So it's going to go to do next. So that should be on do next. Also, a customer service feature that should be a do now. A do now. Customer service. That's a feature on the particular application. If you check your most bank apps, you actually see what are they calling it? A banking a customer service feature. So okay, this oh my god, still have two more problems. Solution screen. Load time for transactions that should be a do now. Should be a do now, a load time. That's reducing the should we do a do now? Okay, should be a do now. What do we have here? User can get responses on low data or bank or bad network server. That's a low effort and should be here. Okay, should be here. Okay, so we have this one. Give reasons for unnecessary. Okay, okay. Give reasons for. Okay, supposed to be on. Bad. I shouldn't have closed that. Which was it. Sure. Failed transactions. So This is going to take an IA part because most times she don't know. And that's okay. It's gonna be, yeah, it's going to be a low effort because it's very very easy to conduct. That's the notifications too as well on the banking application. So that's very very important. Delete old app and download recent application. Um, that's not really your own problem basically, but notifying the users of downloading the application, that should actually be your own problem. But deleting the old application and downloading the recent application shouldn't be your problem. But notifying your users of the new application update is your own problem. So we're going to take this into um don't do don't do. So okay. Okay. So we're able to, okay, we didn't feel do later. Okay, that's because we did actually do our research very well. Actually, rush because of our time. But basically, let me say this: based on your research, most times when conducting some research, this place is actually going to be filled up. If your research is done very very well, you have your do later, do now, don't do, and do next. So we have your user persona here. That's your user persona. Because of our time, we will not be able to create user personal. But the resources I gave to you guys yesterday will show you how to create a professional user personal. Just be professional about it. It does not have to be too complex. Just make it simple and straightforward. So you can go online, you can go to Figma to see how to create a professional user personal. So that is that about that. So this is the process. We have actually gone through the questionnaires, creating a questionnaire, moving on to um asking how to solve this particular problem, which has been stated below, and breaking our statement into things say, feel, and do. We went through the process of pain points. We brainstormed together as a team and also brought up ideas, and that was actually a great experience. Okay, so okay, let me go back to, just let me just stop this right here. Come in. Sorry.